Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Kelsey. I am a wife and a mom of 3 kids, ages 6, 3, and 1.5, and my husband and I just found out that we are expecting baby number 4 in November. So far, I've just been using this channel to document my pregnancy, but I do plan to start kind of branching out into the type of content that I'm creating soon and make more videos related to motherhood and just my life in general. So if you're interested in that, please feel free to hit the subscribe button. Let's get into this week's update. So today I'm actually 7 weeks and 2 days pregnant, but this is going to be my 6-week pregnancy update. I'll film a 7-week update a little bit later this week. I apologize that I'm a few days late on this. I meant to film it last week, but we were traveling for Easter and things were just a little crazy. I wasn't at home with my usual setup, so I just didn't get a chance to film that 6-week update last week. We actually have some family in Michigan that we went to see, so we got to travel, see them, and we hadn't seen them for several months due to the pandemic, so it was great to be with them again, to get to spend some time together. We had a really great time. It was a little bit tricky because the family that we were with, aside from my mom who also was with us, did not know that I'm pregnant yet. We just didn't feel like announcing it quite yet until we're sure that everything is okay and looking good. We prefer to just keep it to ourselves for now, so that's a little interesting. Luckily, I'm not super sick or anything, but still it's hard to kind of keep it under wraps, especially when you're having some symptoms. So that was a little interesting, but nothing too major. I guess we'll just jump right in and start talking about symptoms that I've had this week. I can say for sure that the pregnancy fatigue has definitely set in. I could just sleep all day, and it doesn't matter if I get 8 hours of sleep at night, I still wake up feeling like I need a nap. Fortunately, when we were in Michigan, we had a lot of family around that loves to play with our kids and help watch our kids, so I was actually able to take a nap like 3 days in a row while we were there in the afternoon, which was so amazing. I'm sure that all you moms that are used to being with your kids and not having a chance to nap will understand how amazing of a luxury that is. So I took full advantage of that. I also took full advantage of sleeping in a little bit in the morning, which I don't usually get to do, and it was nice. But now that we're home, it's been kind of a rude awakening getting back to real life where I have to get up early and don't get to just nap whenever I feel like it. As I've said in the past videos, the fatigue in the first trimester seems to always be my kind of most severe first trimester symptom, so I am just kind of already knowing that this is going to be something that I will face for the next several weeks, but fortunately I do know that it subsides in the second trimester and I always get my energy back then, so I'm just counting down the days till I get that energy back. The headaches that I've been having have been quite a bit better. I think I only had one day during week 6 that I really struggled with a really bad headache. That day it only lasted about half a day and then kind of subsided, so I really can't complain compared to what it was like there for a little while, and what I was kind of bracing for. I can't complain. I do find that this week I have been very kind of easily annoyed and feisty. I'm kind of a stubborn, fiery person anyway. When I get irritated, and it seems like my fuse has been even shorter, so especially with my kids, I'm trying to keep that under control. Fortunately, my husband is really understanding and has just kind of taken it in stride and tried to ignore some of my little meltdowns. But overall, nothing too major. The pregnancy hormones are definitely causing me to have acne, which is not something that I feel like I've really had in my other pregnancies. Usually my skin looks really clear and nice when I'm pregnant, but man, this past week has just been a mess. You probably can't really tell now because I do have makeup on. You might still be able to see it because I didn't put a ton of makeup on, but yeah, it's driving me crazy, and I just want to be like having my hands on my face because I'm not used to having stuff on my face, but I'm trying to just ignore it and hope that it will kind of take care of itself and go away sooner rather than later. So let's talk about nausea and food aversions. I have had fleeting food aversions in my previous pregnancies. For example, my third pregnancy, I could not stand the thought of Chick-fil-A, which I don't know if everyone has Chick-fil-A. I don't think Chick-fil-A is everywhere, but Chick-fil-A is like kind of, it is a fast food restaurant, I guess, but like super high quality in my opinion. Chicken sandwiches and stuff. If you're from a place that has Chick-fil-A, you know. But I love Chick-fil-A. In my second pregnancy, I actually craved Chick-fil-A and would eat it all the time. And in my third pregnancy, I could not stand the thought of Chick-fil-A. Even when I would drive by it, it would just make me feel like, ugh. And I couldn't do it. I didn't eat it my entire pregnancy. But obviously, that was a pretty manageable aversion. We just didn't go to Chick-fil-A. And if, you know, there was plenty of other stuff that I could eat to maintain a balanced diet. I would have cravings in all my pregnancies that I would eat, but I could also eat other stuff that I wasn't craving just fine, no problem. Never really struggled with my nutrition in any of my pregnancies. This pregnancy seems to be a total curveball with that. I will say I don't feel like I have traditional morning sickness, or I also just don't think that I'm nearly as sick as a lot of other women during their first trimester, which I am so thankful for. So I'm definitely not complaining about this, but I have so many food aversions this time and it's crazy. I'm having a hard time kind of figuring out how to adjust. To back up a little bit, before I got pregnant this time, I'd been doing Weight Watchers for about the past 9 months to lose the baby weight from my previous pregnancy. And I'd done really well. I was eating actually very healthily before I got pregnant, probably better than I ever have in terms of eating a lot of lean proteins and tons of vegetables. I love vegetables normally. I actually don't have too difficult of a time incorporating them into my diet. I think at any given time, usually the thing I struggle with the most is just having to buy and prep, like wash and cut up and cook all the veggies. But if they're just given to me, I would definitely eat them. I like vegetables. Ever since like the past week or so hit, I don't really want to look at vegetables or think about vegetables or eat vegetables. And it has been a challenge. I've still been managing to choke down a little bit with each meal, but man, this has been a definite struggle. I eat a ton of broccoli, like usually every day I eat broccoli. It's just a vegetable that I like, that I find easy to incorporate, that is kind of versatile and goes with a lot of things. And just today I tried to eat it for lunch and I did manage to choke down like maybe 5 bites, but I'm struggling. I also usually really like salad. I can't really stand the thought of lettuce right now. So this is all just kind of crazy to me. I'm still trying to cope with it a little bit. Another thing that I just cannot stand the thought of for the most part is meat, like chicken. I eat a lot of grilled and baked chicken. I can't even think about trying to cook chicken right now. It's not even the raw chicken that gets me. I don't like raw chicken anyway, but like that doesn't seem any worse right now, but just the thought of actually eating cooked chicken is gross. About a week and a half ago, I had made like my favorite grilled chicken recipe with my favorite marinade. And we eat this all the time in our house, probably at least like once a month. And I couldn't even look at it in the fridge without feeling nauseous. We made burgers on the grill a few days ago and I couldn't eat that. I didn't end up eating any of them because I just couldn't stomach it. So that has been a definite challenge for me. Because these are all some of my staples that I eat, and I obviously want to keep continuing to try to eat at least sort of healthy during this pregnancy. And when you take out some of the good lean proteins and vegetables, it makes it a lot more difficult. Really, I feel like I've had more nausea this pregnancy than I ever have before. It's still, once again, like I was saying, not anything like what a lot of women experience, and I'm thankful for that. But last week, one night, I woke up maybe around 4 in the morning, just feeling sick. I was laying in bed. I felt like if I moved at all, I would throw up. So I got my husband, I woke him up and had him go downstairs and get me a bowl just in case. TMI, I know, sorry, kind of gross. Luckily I didn't end up needing to use it. And then for some reason I was thinking about like strawberry applesauce, those little kids pouches that you can buy that we have for our kids. And so he got me one of those and I ate maybe like 3 little sips of it. And then I felt so much better. So I really think that it's just if my stomach gets too empty or I get too hungry, I get sick. And I know that's a kind of common thing. The problem is a lot of the time when I feel like that, if I think about actually eating something, that just makes me feel sick. So I really have to be kind of choosy about what I actually eat to try to curb the nausea. The biggest craving that I had this week was Burger King onion rings and the zesty sauce. I mean, what is it about the zesty sauce at Burger King? Oh my gosh. I don't hardly ever eat at Burger King. Probably the last time I ate at Burger King was, I don't even know, probably, if I had to guess, maybe 2 years ago when I was pregnant with my last baby. But it's just something about that zesty sauce. I can't get enough of it when I'm pregnant. I don't like to eat it very often because I usually don't feel good afterwards, but I did go yesterday and get some onion rings and zesty sauce and it was amazing. But that's the perfect example. I was feeling kind of sick. I looked through our fridge and pantry. Nothing looked good. Everything seemed like it would make me sick if I ate it. And that was what I wanted. That was what I ate. And I felt so much better afterwards. So I know obviously I can't get in the habit of just eating fried onion rings and a bunch of fatty sauce for every meal. But it was definitely a lifesaver yesterday and tasted just as good as I was anticipating that it would be. For some reason, I've also been thinking about bananas a lot, so I am thankful for that. Luckily, I still seem to be able to eat fruit just fine, so I'm trying to kind of stock up on fruits and healthy-ish carbs that I know can kind of get me through until this crazy food aversion, nausea goes away. I'm really praying that by the time the second trimester hits that I'll be able to start eating a little more normally again. If you had food aversions and nausea and everything, when did you find that it subsided? Like I said, I'm kind of new to this territory. Not new to pregnancy, but new to the aversions and nausea, so I'm just trying to figure out how long I can anticipate it to last. So let me know what your experience was. The only other symptom that I wanted to mention is heartburn. Heartburn is definitely the worst symptom that I've had in all my pregnancies so far. With my first, I think it got really bad in the 3rd trimester. And then with my second, it probably got bad in the middle of the 2nd trimester. And with my 3rd, I think it got bad around the end of the 1st trimester. And it's like my body doesn't forget, and this time around it's just instantly bad. I have heartburn and bloating. It's still not anything like the 3rd trimester heartburn, but it's definitely noticeable and a little bit uncomfortable. I'm sure there's a ton more to look forward to where that's coming from. I did have my blood drawn at 6 weeks and 1 day pregnant to recheck my HCG and progesterone levels. If you remember, I had started taking progesterone supplements the week before because my level had dropped a little bit. So at 6 weeks and 1 day, which was exactly 1 week after my previous blood draw, my HCG was 38,117 and it had been 4,778 the week before. So that was, I think when I calculated, I don't remember exactly, but I think it was a little over every 48 hours doubling time, which is still within the normal range for that point. And then my progesterone was 24.7, which it had been 18.1, so it did increase, which I was really happy about. My doctor was really happy with that and said he didn't think at this point that I needed to increase to taking the progesterone twice a day, and I could just stick to the once a day, which I'm so grateful for. So for now, still once a day progesterone. In the evenings I take it, and as I said in my past video, I do take it vaginally to try to curb some of the side effects, and so far it does seem to be working pretty well for me. We still haven't told anybody else about the pregnancy. We do have an ultrasound coming up this week just to confirm that everything is healthy and in the right spot. So after that, I imagine we'll probably tell my husband's parents and probably our kids. Just curious to see if anybody has cute ways that you told your kids. I kind of like to tell our kids in a creative way, but I'm drawing a blank on how to do it. I am getting increased nerves about the ultrasound. I feel like my gut tells me that everything is fine and healthy, but there's always that creeping concern in the back of my mind that something is wrong. And I don't know. I'll feel so much better after the ultrasound, I think. Overall, I'm just trying so hard to take in every minute of this pregnancy. I know, like I said in the past, that this is probably going to be my last pregnancy, so I'm just trying to really enjoy every minute and not take a single day and second for granted, and also just trying not to wish the whole pregnancy away. I think it's easy to always be looking forward to the next milestone, to the ultrasound, to the next ultrasound, to feeling the baby move, to this and that, and it's easy to just like wish yourself all the way up through delivery and then realize that the whole pregnancy kind of passed you by. So I'm just trying to be really present this time around and just savor every minute, because I love being pregnant. I really do, and I know I'll miss it after this pregnancy is over. I think that's all for this week. I want to thank you so much for watching. If you're pregnant, let me know how far along you are and how you're feeling. Or even if you're not pregnant, please just say hi in the comments down below and introduce yourself so that we can officially meet. If you're interested in following along on my motherhood journey, please subscribe. I hope that everybody has a great day, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.